Alright, Schlockmeister fans, a very rare film. Paul Bartel's feature film debut overall, period. Bearing It All. Let's check it out.
1970s may well be remembered as the decade of revolution. Perhaps the most controversial is the so-called sexual revolution. As standards change and new freedoms become acceptable, every aspect of our daily lives is affected. Within a peer group, the individual will come to a deeper understanding of himself and his problem. The film you are about to see was made during the first encounter with a group of my patients. A sympathetic understanding of any one of these cases may be the first step in obtaining a better understanding of yourself and the world you live in.
So our movie follows a group therapy, a sexual group therapy group.
And there was this very attractive
And we see each one of their stories.
She said she was selling cosmetics, you know, like the Avon lady, and a line of women's wear and stuff like that. For an answer. And so I took them and went into the bedroom. I took my t-shirt off and looked at myself in the mirror. And that colored lady was right. I really do have beautiful breasts. They're round and they're firm. They don't sag at all. I've seen a lot of bosoms in my day, and mine are really the nicest.
So she goes out to show the lady the underwear she just put on.
Gorgeous. I began to feel more comfortable.
And then she gets undressed as the other lady.
But suddenly, she started taking off her top, and I saw that she was wearing the same underwear, only...
Then there's a really nice scene that I can't really show you.
And we tried Superman.
But then she can't really get it on with her husband unless she's dressed up like the Avon lady.
But nothing works unless he's dressed up as a colored Avon lady.
Next we hear Lita. We hear her story.
My hands. I get raped all the time. I was raped 3 times on the way over here today. Well, twice actually.
Then we have a strange scene where
You want to party?
the doctor encountered a hooker in the
It's 7 o'clock
park.
in the morning.
Good morning.
Come here to do my
Oh, yes, baby. I exercised your joint. Do you know what a good time we can have for $20, baby? You know I'm going to take you. Y te voy a coger por ahí. Hair, with a little hair.
He ends up rejecting her, though. I'm not sure what the scene has to do with the movie.
Terrific. Look at that. A little hair. I'll give you a special deal on it. How about it, huh? $4.
I'm sorry, lady. I'm just not in the market. Not for your wig, not for your body. Not...
Lita continues about how she met a photographer named Ron.
But he kept on touching me, and I didn't feel very natural.
Things get a little hot, and he did when he wants to take pictures of her in the bathtub.
And before I knew it, I had my arm out of the water, and the bubbles were sort of sliding down it. I felt like a princess in a fairy tale. I don't know why I did it, but I let my hands fall down, and he was staring at my body. No man had ever seen me like that before.
But I almost got laid once.
Then we hear Marty's story.
She lived in this kind of slummy neighborhood. You had to go through back alleys to get there. And we were telling each other about all these great dames we knew.
Marty and his buddy went to visit this hooker in this kind of slum house. Marty's traumatized because the hooker laughed at his small penis.
And I imagined Claude looking through the hole. It didn't matter to me that she was laughing at me, but I had to go to school the rest of the semester with Claude.
The dog was sort of licking his penis, and when he woke up, he had an erection, something he hadn't gotten in a long time. And he sort of knew that the dog wouldn't mind it too much if they went ahead with it. And you know, he was right.
He and his dog...
I think you're making it up.
Sure.
What about the dog? How's the dog now?
Oh, the dog is dead now.
So they convince Marty to drop his pants so they can inspect his penis.
Oh. Oh, well. It's
not the Jolly Green Giant, but I've seen worse.
Now we meet Joe. Clearly a man dressed as a woman.
I've been gay since high school. Ever since Marilyn died, that is.
It shows us Joe's transformation from man to woman, at least in terms of dress.
Well, you see, I've been dressing as a woman around the house for a long time. I never got the nerve to go outside until a couple of months ago. Small talk. We knew when we left the bar.
Then we see a story about the first person he picked up.
I was kissing him and hugging him and touching him, and then I realized that he thought I was a girl. And I better start acting like one. So I rolled on my back and I let him get on top of me.
I can't show you here, but there's a big reveal when we find out the guy is a girl.
He trembled as I went for his BBD. He didn't have an erection, but I like it better that way. It's more of a challenge. I pulled him down, and I nearly died. It wasn't a guy at all. He was a girl.
So they had a relationship for a while until
he beat me. He slapped me till I couldn't even hold on my hair.
he brought
And then he
a
threw me
construction
out
worker
of my
home.
own house. And Bob didn't lift a finger to stop him. And now I don't know what to do.
This guy Peter shows up and we see his story.
She knocked me out.
What?
And she knocked me out. Out. I mean, my face is in the dirt. The next thing, I wake up, and I'm freezing.
Strange scene here while he was in the woods naked.
And then she starts making these noises like a dog. Well, I'm getting the hang of it, and I'm moving a little this way, a little that way, and I'm about ready to pop.
He was kept tied up in that park for quite a while.
And then she stands up and starts running the hands all over her body, telling me how beautiful she is. She wasn't. And then he takes me down to the station. When I got up, I was standing there, I had no clothes on. I had 2 nickels to rub together. They took my money, they took everything.
You got arrested.
He said, you don't have any ID, no money? And I said, no. He said, looks like vagrancy.
Peter is telling his story.
Lita?
He has a right to the
Don't
same
touch
attention
me.
you got.
Oh, wow! That's hot! That's hot!
Apparently Lita's the woman who was attacking him in the park.
They were only pretending to make love, and they felt sorry for the dirty old man.
Now we see the story of this couple, like in a stage performance, a very sexual stage performance. Now a nun breaks up the performance, and then the nun starts going down on the woman herself. Strange, strange movie.
That we are in the Sweet Pussy Film Studio on 42nd Street. This table will be the stage. Irene, you will be Anne, and Peter, you'll be Anne's boyfriend, Billy. Irene, would you take up a position on the stage?
As they do some dry humping in a performance, chaos breaks out.
As much as
Our film ends with Bartel in prison for what he did
I'm
here.
assured that as soon as my bail money is raised, that I will be at liberty again to continue my practice. And my lawyers have promised me that the Supreme Court, to whom we are now appealing, will understand that the death of the poor, unfortunate Anne Palermo was in no way intentional or deliberate and had no connection with my therapy.
All right, let's talk about this film, Bearing It All. It has an alternate title, which escapes me a little bit. It's something like Utterly and No Redeeming Social Value, something like that, which was a phrase used in the motion picture industry back in the late 60s to say that's how they judged something, that it was not something that should be shown. They would judge it obscene. Even though this movie is obscene, that's why they had the intro at the beginning where he tells you that there's a reason behind all the nude scenes. So anyway, it's just a big joke, really. So what we got here is Paul Bartel. He's a group therapist, or he's the leader of a group therapy program, and he's got all these people in there, 4, 5, 6, who have sexual problems of some sort. And what this movie does, they just go from person to person, and we see their problems played out. We have one person who's a homosexual, having a hard time dealing with that. He has this one guy at the end who got into some weird shit where he was almost like raped out in a forest somewhere, and it was really weird. We have a woman who somehow got obsessed and slept with a black Avon lady. So then she couldn't. She was so excited by that she wanted her husband to dress up in blackface and wear a dildo. I couldn't show you the dildo scenes, but anyway, that's basically what we have in this movie. It's just one sexual vignette, one to the next, to the next, to the next. Now, there's a lot of nudity in this movie, a ton of it. There's a full nudity, male and female. We've got crotch shots, we've got labia, we've got black dildos. It's a dirty, dirty movie. Now, most of the actors and actresses in this movie didn't do anything else. Obviously, Paul Bartel did. He did a lot of schlocky stuff in the 70s and 80s and stuff, so it was kind of interesting seeing him here. He was like 29 or 30 years old when he made this movie, but he still looks exactly the same. He had almost lost all of his hair by then, and even at a younger age, he still looked like Paul Bartel. Roz Kelly, who I think was on Happy Days a little bit, she has a small role in this as well. And a couple other people have done a few other things, but most of them, nothing else. It's just basically a one shot and they're out of there. A lot of them got naked, so what a legacy they left. But anyway, there's only one review of this movie on IMDb right now before mine goes up there. It's a critic review, no user review. It's just a critic review. And the guy was saying, as far as he knows, it's never been released on DVD or VHS. Now, he's wrong about that. Not on DVD, but it was released on VHS by private screenings. And I have that tape, which is where I burned this DVD-R from. So if you're watching out there, it was available on VHS. You can still get it. I'll leave a link down below if you're looking for it on Amazon. I assume it's there. I don't know what the price is, but if you click it, you'll find out. It's actually not a bad film for what it is, and if you're looking for something raunchy, you can't go wrong with this one. And always fun to see Paul Bartel, too. So anyway, that's it. It's called Bearing It All, and it's not bad. So check it out. Leave some comments down below. There's virtually nothing online about this movie. There's very, very little stuff. The only stuff that's out there is the same thing written over and over again. But that's it. Bearing It All. Watch it. Leave some comments. Bye.